Hello and welcome back. Today we have a short little set of notes. I know you're probably happy to hear that right off the bat. And today we are going to cover the topic of water. And there's a few notes that go with water, but this one is strictly about the structure of water. So let's just dive right in before I get lost in this intro. So the chemical formula of water is H2O, and I'm sure you've heard that before. It's all over the hallways in the school, but H2O. And what that means is that there's 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. The way that we notate this, and you're going to see this a lot in all the activities we do, is that hydrogens are positive, so they are happy little hydrogens. And oxygens are more negative, and you can see that here in our image, right? We have a positive next to the H's, which are hydrogens, and then a negative down here next to the O, which is oxygen. So you can think of oxygen as sort of like a bully, right? It's mean, it's negative, and then our hydrogens are little happy guys. And you'll also notice that the oxygen is way bigger than the hydrogen. So moving on from this, the way that water molecules are held together is that in between the hydrogens and the oxygens, right? The hydrogens connect to the oxygens. They do not connect to each other, right? There's no bond here. But their hydrogens do connect to the oxygens, and they connect to them through what's called a covalent bond. That's important. You're going to want to write this word down. So one single water molecule is held together by 2 covalent bonds, and they're connected from hydrogen to oxygen. Water is what we call polar, and what that means is that this molecule has opposite ends that have opposite electric charges. And we saw that earlier because I was mentioning that a hydrogen atom was positive and an oxygen was negative, and it was sort of looked like Mickey Mouse a little bit, right? The oxygen was like a big face, and then the hydrogens on top were like the 2 little ears. And so oxygen is negative, so it's slightly negative, and the hydrogen is positive, or slightly more positive than the oxygen at least. And so they have different electrical charges, positive and negative, at opposite ends, and so it becomes what's called a polar molecule. This is important because it's a polar molecule, it has a ton of water properties, which we're going to get into in the next set of notes. But the reasoning that water can do all of the incredible things that water can do is because it is a polar molecule. So again, I've mentioned this a few times, but happy hydrogens because they're positive, and oxygen is sort of a bully because it's so negative in regards to its electric charge. So this polarity does give water special properties. We're going to talk way more about it next time, but water molecules attract other water molecules. And maybe you've seen this when you're like driving in the car with a friend or a parent, and you're watching the raindrops slide down the glass of the window, and you notice that they will meet up with other raindrops and make bigger raindrops. And that's because water is attracted to other water molecules. The positive ends of one water molecule, right, those positive hydrogens, are attracted to the negative oxygen molecules on other water molecules, right? And you've seen this in like magnets, right? Positive is attracted to negative, right? Opposites attract, okay? We've seen this. And the connection that is made between the hydrogen of one water molecule and the oxygen of a second water molecule is called a hydrogen bond, okay? So within one water molecule, it's a covalent bond, right? Covalent bond. But between multiple water molecules, that's a hydrogen bond. So 2 different bonds that you are going to need to know. Now, this hydrogen bond is actually pretty weak. It's easily broken, which is why you can walk through water or like run your hand through water, because you're breaking that bond because it's a pretty weak attachment. Next time, we are going to dive into way more water properties, 8 in total, so get excited for that. But for now, congratulations, you finished this short set of notes, and I will see you in class.